ooga chaka ooga 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 chaka ooga 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 chaka ooga 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 chaka ooga ooga.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Duck, you just don't realize what you did to me.
I need to move this microphone closer. Point. There we go. That's better, I think. I figured I should put up content warning. Just in case. Sora Game is not intended for all audience. Please visit our website, Black Tabby Games, if you need a full list of content warnings. Slay the Princess contains flickering image effects as well as a parallax effects that, on rare occasions, has caused motion sickness in players. If these are health issues for you, you can disable them in the game's preferences. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. Only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Love story. Now I've got all the endings, all the achievements for this game. So it can't surprise me anymore. Chapter 1. The Hero
You're
and the
on a
Princess.
path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Floppy disk save off icon. I like that. I like it when things which aren't used anymore are just kind of there. Like as a relic. It's neat.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
End of the world? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
I don't know. I feel like if all the people disappeared, it wouldn't be the worst thing.
Don't
In basement end of the world.
linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
You have any
Look,
evidence
you're
back
already
this
on
up?
the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task?
I could be on
Made it
vacation.
this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
I could be going to have a nice time at the beach. Maybe I'm a hunter and this is my cabin in the woods, which I hunt from. Maybe I'm a survivalist. And I'm gonna wait out the apocalypse. Okay, we're back to the apocalypse. Let's keep going. And maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is
While I
because she's locked up.
appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
I love the narration in this game. It's excellent.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Maybe it's Maybelline? I don't quite understand what that means.
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
But it could be that. We can't rule it out yet. We can rule out nothing. And yet, nothing.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Oh, it's a makeup brand. I had not heard of that brand before. Nice.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
I like that line.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Okay, Princess, seems kind of bad though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
I mean, I can't
if
argue
only
with
that.
that.
Was the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
But you kinda do.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
Maybe I do.
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
You don't know me. I could be Satan. I could have goat horns. I could be here to eat your soul, spit it out, eat it again, spit it out again, put it on a nice sandwich. You know, very Satan things.
Yes.
What's in it for
but
me?
You'll have to slay her before you get it. It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Can talk to her and she's fast, you say. Then maybe I'll slay her. I'm not going to do anything until I've had a
And I
chance to
guess
meet her
we'll
face
just
to
have to
face.
see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Reminds me a bit from Wreck-It Ralph. Thanks, Satan. It's Satan. You know, that just made me realize something. How do we know we're pronouncing any of their names right? Is that why nobody's prayers seem to be answered? They're just pronouncing their name wrong and it's not getting delivered. That'd be kind of messed up.
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
You're being
So sure,
overdramatic.
go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
What does this do? Oh, that's history.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
I love how you have the hero. You have the different voices which show up and interact with things. That's really cool. I like it just I like it both as a part of the whole, I forget what the proper term is, like corrupted fairy tale thing they have. As well as how it's used as a storytelling device. And how they always seem to line up with what's happened.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Of course, They're lining up like that because it's a deliberate choice. But I still think it's neat.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale
Hi,
and
Grizz.
musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Yeah, this is an innocent game.
Not Morty. We were
Not like
wrong.
there's
Oh,
blood, gore, violent content or anything in it. Look at how colorful it is.
With this, do they have a 12-pack?
They have chabs. They have chest abs.
I'll voice the
I don't wanna
creature.
do this
I'll
voice.
voice the
Grace, you're doing
creature.
it.
Yep.
Okay, Grizz, yeah.
Holy shit, is that a creature?
And yes, it's a Grizz.
I don't know if we should fight.
It's the good being Grizz. Anyways, I'm gonna repeat all that again for a clip later. Just because I can. As Grizz said, it sure looks like an innocent game. Yeah. Not like it has blood, gore, violent content. Or it's not called Slay the Princess. Look at how many colors there are. Sorry. Thank you. Glad to see you, Grizz. Clement, you'll need it if you want to do this right. I accidentally hit the skip. Do we want to just go into the basement? I'll leave it up to you. To you all. I also really like this piano they have. It's nice and calming. Or maybe it's supposed to be eerie. I'm misinterpreting it. I'm just weird. But do we take the Shanken stick? Supposed to be both? That's fair.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
It just has minor notes in there. Go deeper, it gets more creepy. True. That's true. So I'm a little bit of both.
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
You know, there's a playthrough where it's just the devs and the voice actors doing it. I think it's a pretty cool video. Heck yeah. Rats on the Grookey. I haven't played that one yet.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
I haven't played any of the newer Pokemon games yet.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
Well, the last one I played was Legends Arceus, which was nice. Using none Sword and Shield starters instead of using the new bug. Ooh. That's some critique of the designs right there. Oh. That is a statement. But a good one, I'd say.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Let's talk a bit first.
Okay. Oh,
What is your name? Do you have a name?
She pauses,
Were you born here?
carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Nice. Thank you. I will go and look at it later. Being named Princess Princess. I mean, we have stuff called Chai Tea, which is just TT. And there's at least one character named Detective Dick Gumshoe. Or Detective. So, is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Yeah. Mario's name is Mario. And Luigi Mario. So, it's normal.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
What have you
I
been
don't see
eating?
what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right? The princess
What happens if I let you
hesitates
out?
before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not
Great
like you
question.
believe me.
That's a good question, too. Ma'am, where have you been going to the bathroom? Which of these corners is the poop corner? you out of here. Don't
Only
make me
making
regret this.
more difficult.
Thank you, and you won't. I promise.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing.
Just let me know which corner is the poo corner. I don't
Walk
want to
up
sit
the
in it.
chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
Hello, Lila. Lilum. How are you doing?
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I mean, we haven't destroyed it yet, but there's still time.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
I do not have the
Maybe
key.
it's somewhere upstairs, doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
But we're
They
on
would
our
have
way
just
to destroying
left
it.
The key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
We're gonna mess up so many worlds.
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
Life of a single princess worth it. Maybe we'll find out.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
It's probably fine.
Your shouts and
Let me
pleas
out.
are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
Thank you, Mr. Narrator.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the mess is located in one of these corners.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
And 3, 2, 1.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Boop, 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 boop. I mean, the knife do be right here. So. Let's save her this time.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place.
I love the narration. And also the use of color. The way they have it really makes... I believe it makes the blood stand out more.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is
And that's
sharp,
pretty
and
cool.
it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm.
Like, you know exactly what is happening in this slide.
Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground.
Noir style. That's true. That's true. I believe.
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
I love this. Okay, so as I said, I played this. So, that little eye there is so much foreshadowing. I love it. I love it. It's great.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? I mean, what does it look like?
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
I love the
As
narration.
your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
Hello, Nero. Well, welcome to a completely normal love story.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
If... I don't know if you're sensitive to blood or gore at all. But if you are, yeah. This may not be the one for you.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
God, the narration is great. And thank you for the health check. Though I'm not sure the guy in the game is gonna need it for very long.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
And you know what? I'm okay with that. Because apparently I'm evil.
Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
You're welcome, Nero.
Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over.
I love the narration so much.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
And we have our first Everything Goes Dark and You Die. Chapter 2. The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A terrible
Kidding.
sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
I love this game so much. It's great.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Ah, yes. Smitten. My beloved. You rolled it. Somehow managed to roll a 0 on your stealth check. And a 1 on your charisma check.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Fair enough. And sometimes you just be touch-starved like that. Pretty sure this whole thing
We
has
could go
literally
back and
happened.
forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Telling the truth and all this really did happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should
Those are
I
two
bother doing
very
anything?
different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. You were the one who did us in, villain. Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ. I'm not
Perfect.
going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
But they didn't. We're immortal or something. I don't know. Behold.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
What if it's both? Now hear me out. What if, by time traveling, we created an alternate dimension for ourselves? Thonks.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after?
Yes.
Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
No.
She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone. That's right, you can't stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does. Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
Maybe we will. Maybe we won't.
Just be quick about it.
She able to kill me last time because I'd let her. She can barely use a knife. How's she supposed to end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world. Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
Same, Lilac. Same. Probably not in the same way as the Smitten, though. He seems a bit overzealous. I have a feeling he doesn't have the most healthy relationship with everything.
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
True. Dr. Wagley couldn't base.
Look,
Why is this falling on me?
I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice. Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
What aren't you telling
everything
me?
you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
I am going to be on the quieter side this stream, mostly because
Not to
narration
sound
is
like
excellent.
a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
Have any of you... Weedy. Hiya, Iffy. How are you doing? Welcome. I hope you're doing good. We are. Spelling your name wrong. That's what we're doing here.
I don't think we're gonna swap PC. Mostly because also my computer would probably fucking mute me if I did.
Great.
That's all.
Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Well,
Hey,
what?
Iffy.
I just
Do you-
nailed the
should we-
100 again, twice in a row. Okay, I'm flipping myself.
Should we stab him?
Warning.
Yeah,
Wait,
Before
what?
you go any
Oh, in
further.
a practice?
I'm trying to read.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
I'm doing okay. And the slaying, well, so far we have defied the slaying.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet.
But with your help, we can change that. So,
Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
you want to? We can just stab
The
her.
interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
I believe in you. Alrighty, we'll stab him.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Say anything about
That's
the mirror?
because
Wall?
there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Will I be exhausting pretty much
definitely
every
a mirror.
dialogue option?
There
Yes.
isn't. I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here.
I love you, Smitten. Ah.
In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
Yes, I want to see how
That's
handsome
a
I am.
Great idea. We have to make sure we're looking our best before we save her. We shouldn't waste time preening. If he is lying about the mirror, it might be important. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do? Very different.
This cabin is different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
But there's a
This really
mirror.
isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Now it's a
It was there a
tapestry.
second ago, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place. You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I mean, we could always just strangle
I suppose
them.
if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we
Ooh,
need
spooky
an
game.
equally dashing
Want
sword.
to get spoiled and have fun?
That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies.
I will.
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us. Again, there's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job.
Thank you for the hydrate. Now, do we stab them?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Once again, this narration is
Her
beautiful.
voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
I love you, Smitten. I kind of want to stab her now. However, I also don't want to make the Smitten disappointed.
Wait.
And I always hate dealing with this version of her.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes,
That's
for
fair.
everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
I personally, I can understand why. I can understand why completely. I like it because it's so blatantly superficial. And also because of how cheesy it is. But I can understand
You
why
walk
that
down
would
the
be.
stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Why that would be a turnoff.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
I love you, Smitten.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing, and she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain, and you killed us.
Yes, he did.
She killed us.
Well, he killed us. Well, she killed us because he tried to get us to kill her. And he kind of possessed it a little. It's weird.
Because he made us try and kill her, it was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
Exactly.
You've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Why did you do
sorry.
that?
Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
You know, I want to show you all something cool.
For her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every... Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself.
Exactly.
Not so sure.
You died.
And now we're talking.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right... What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't... Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the... She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
I love you, Smitten. You're so
right.
oblivious.
It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her. If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action,
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect.
That's because she's a cardboard
She
cutout
has
of a
someone
human
like
being.
him telling her what to do. She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Saying Smitten wants to slay her another way. Absolutely. The Smitten cannot keep it in its pants.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm
Exactly,
free,
Smith.
And you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh, are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is... Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try. You're going to regret this.
No, we won't.
What do we do now?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone...
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I mean, you sort of did that.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
Yes.
I think I want to leave.
The princess closed, and then she shrugged.
I don't know.
What do you want to do? I
I
want to
just
tell.
want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy.
And there goes the
Makes sense
music.
to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
I just want to make you happy.
Is she broken? What's going on?
Every truther ever. Exactly.
What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar.
I just
What
wanna
make you happy?
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right.
Ah, yes. Budget VTubers slay the princess.
I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
Want something more than just making me
I'll
happy.
find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
And there she goes. Get a chance to ask another question. Something has taken her away. And it's left something in her place.
No. She was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
That's a good question. How do we even go about looking?
She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I can't believe she was taken away from us. The nerve.
She was yoinked just before we got true love. Ooh, I'm getting Qdoba. I don't think I ever have. I've heard of it, but I haven't ever had any.
It is. Does
Narrator's
that
gone.
mean the world ended? A villain vanquished.
I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
Dreadful about it. I don't think you should. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? I'm begging you, don't do this.
Into the mirror we go. He approached the mirror. Imagine if Chipotle was good. Okay. I may have had Chipotle. Maybe. I don't have enough of a reference to know what that means. Gaze into your reflection. Forward, they're gone, but the mirror remains. Time for you to see what's in it. It's you. It's not as empty, it's quiet here. See to the cabin. You are at the cabin.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are
I
you?
am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Hey Lights, what do you
Thoughts
mean?
without connections. A dim and nascent network.
Okay,
wish
Subway
to be
but for
more.
burritos. I recognize that. That sounds good. The real question is, are they gonna do it correctly, or are they just gonna... They're gonna do it correctly. Thank you all who survived. And heck yeah, congrats on the Sneasel. What do you think I am?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. Yes,
What's a fragile vessel?
nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. This one is soft and delicate. You molded
Really
her to
survived.
love
I'm
you,
wounded.
and she'll make for a gentle heart.
Oh no, get a medic. Get a medic back. Quick. She's dying. Oh no.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
It's the
How
end of the
can
world.
the world have ended if we are talking?
Let her out.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
You was sent to slay the princess. What trapped
I
you
have
there?
only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
You know about the worlds beyond this place.
I know only that they are.
Alright.
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
Were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of
You
yourself?
speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Do we know each
You
other?
are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole.
How much will I get?
Everything, until we meet again.
What if I don't
Then
let you
we
do
will
this?
be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
I love the writing.
I have not lived. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am in. You ask of things that cannot.
What are you gonna do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Can't make
She
me forget.
asks that I tell you to. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die. There we go. We got our second one.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it... That's the
Sweet, I've always
spirit.
wanted to do that. Viva la revolution.
You make your way up the short. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a prince. Ignore him. The interior of the cabin is the blade.
We're taking the
You
knife.
take the blade from the...
We're
the
gonna
door to
do
the
it.
base. Her voice.
Who's that?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Ooh.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Come on down. You're the next contestant
You
on The
walk
Price is Right.
downstairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Well, you heard it here first.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate...
Sorry,
You're
can we
so
just talk?
close. Don't... No, this is a good idea.
Oh, threatened, are we? You poor thing. Drop the knife, and of course we can talk. Then I'm not talking to you.
What if we
You
squint?
stare at the princess. She squints back. The two of you are gonna...
Squint even harder.
Even. So does she. At least nobody's... You're going to have to...
You know what? Screw it, let's go for it.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
We really...
It feels
She
like you've been
one-punched
hit with a
us.
sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
I think we just give up.
Are you serious? As internal bleeding sets in, the blade falls from your trembling hands, clattering to the ground uselessly. You lacked the will to finish the job, your bruised and broken body falling to its knees before her.
Ah, this is...
The princess, exhausted, chest heaving with heavy breaths, tosses the blade away from you. This is the end, isn't it?
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
Oh my.
She plants her foot on your chest and pushes you onto your back, the air leaving your lungs in a heavy puff. And then she brings her knee to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you starved for breath.
It's too bad. I was looking forward to some company.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
And to the tower. Okay, I know that's
You're
a tarot
on a
card.
path in the woods.
The real
And at the
question
end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
is... Are all of these, like, chapter names related to tarot cards? Or is this one just coincidence?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Because I'm not familiar enough with it to know. But I died.
can
What am I
assure
doing
you
here?
You're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then you know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Okay, but hear me out. What if we did just let her kill us again?
A warning before you go any further. She will love. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
You're either being realistic or very kinky.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible.
I mean, fair enough. But, okay, now hear me out. What if she is hot?
So please, try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
Bum bum.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine... The blade is your... Why do we feel so... We don't feel so...
I like how there's a ladder.
You take the blade from the altar.
Like,
it would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
there's just a ladder there. For your convenience. For anyone who needs a knife.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Huh. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Look,
Her
stone
booming
is
voice
cool.
rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess...
Let's go down
Making
them
your way
stairs.
down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight,
Oh my.
her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
I don't know if any of you saw the
chain
RT
is
game
nothing to her. It might
playthrough
as well
of
be a
this,
toy for all the good it would
but
do.
I can
told
relate to
you
the reason
it
why he was yelling at
pointless
everyone.
to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
Yep.
Drop it.
Okay.
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor. We didn't have to do that.
Telling mommy energy, exactly.
And yet you did.
Exactly. I'd say I'm exposing myself lives. But I'm pretty sure everyone already knows everything at this point.
She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Okay.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed.
I don't feel like I should be doing this live.
What draws you back here beyond the... Speak!
The last time we met...
Good question.
I suppose that...
No, I won't tell you.
Just do it already.
And the world.
Weak-willed buffoon.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for... It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you?
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do.
Okay. Okay.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent? All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't
I'm not
let
elaborating
you do
on
this.
any of this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong. Trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
That's you.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I
don't care what you are. You're mine.
Interesting. Tip! That scream. Beautiful.
Rise, my little bird.
That's it.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Oh my.
Break my chain.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
I have to, it's over, I'm sorry.
This is how it was always going to be. Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back.
You have fun, hero. I know I am.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
Ah yes, that layering. I love it.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave. Nothing.
What happens now?
And then, everything.
And yoink. Oops. No dommy mommy for you. Yee-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. You do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It's time to leave.
She's gone.
Never returns.
Where does she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? What? but it feels so bad. Like looking into it
It's
right now
okay.
is going to be the end
Hi,
of everything.
Attack Stu. Welcome
I
in.
don't want to look at us. Okay,
You're on the other side. It's going to be
if
okay.
you say so. With the mercy.
Approach the mirror. Let's reach forward and take on again. The mirror will make some leave. See what's in it. You've grown. But how are you doing, Tax Stu? Find yourself in the long quiet one once again. See to the cabin. You're at the cabin. Approach her.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Welcome to... This is a horror game, but it's also a visual novel, and it's also really good. And do you know what you
With
want to
every
do?
gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was.
Survived the day back to work after 2 weeks off. I'm glad you're surviving.
I cannot tell you what desires
And I hope you
will
had a
hold
good
when I
time
have
off.
changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is dominance, a figure
Yeah, that's right.
capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
Feel about
The
these
vessels
vessels.
are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me.
I hope you're doing
The
good, though.
wounds they've
Tax
suffered
you.
carve texture
I hope
around
work
my
is nice
heart.
to you.
Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
You say feels like Riddle
I'm
can give me a
sorry.
single straight answer.
Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to
She
bring
really
me
said,
carry far more meaning
"Accept my
than
answers or
anything
shut up."
words could say in the spaces between. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
I think I'm ready.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die.
You're. I'm talking about. Don't look. We're not gonna ignore.
We're gonna skip all the way up to the cabin. Because it's cabin time.
The interior of the cabin is all. The blade is your imp. The door to the basement. Her voice
Hello?
is. Don't.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long.
There's one I
since I've
really
had
want to
any
show you all,
visitors.
because I
Please.
like it a lot.
Down the stairs, and I am begging.
Hi.
See what I can do.
You're only making.
Thank you.
You're making. No. You're doing. Walk up to the. They're large and heavy. Fine.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's doubtful.
Okay.
Gonna check upstairs.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. Someone.
And we can just go back
You make your
down.
way easier for everyone. Look at the mess you.
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight.
If I could just get out.
She barely. As she rips her flesh. It's the blade from. Or you won't like.
And save.
Fine. You cut. The blade is sharp. Her lip. She didn't know. She's. How is.
Thank you.
No, we won't. As the princess approach. Wait. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Okay.
Shank.
No go. You bring the blade down to strike the princess, but she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time?
Yes.
I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
I mean, they'd certainly help.
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth. You collapse to the floor. Your body, if we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict, it can't just, as much as I'd prefer for things to. Everything goes dark.
And here we are.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
See the princess? She also killed me.
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
I mean, some do. Have you ever seen Jesus?
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to... Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
Let's go.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done.
Wink. Audible wink.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's take that knife.
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea.
Let's go into that basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth.
Yes.
The
I
air
love the
smells
narration.
of dirt and copper.
It's beautiful.
And wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite. But you
I'm
are.
not Ness.
You're a wretched little thing. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
Fair enough.
She must have you confused with someone else.
Fair
She
enough.
seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop
Both.
lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about
It's
what
both.
to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss.
Yep.
Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
She is now a cat. Yeah.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Now she's acting like the two of you already know each other.
The hag? Yes, the witch. She is a cat. Yeah.
Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us?
I mean, we
Just
have a knife
focus on
behind
the
us.
task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Here, take this knife.
You can't be... Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no. As do I. I, abstain? You abstain? She's going...
In
You're going to
democracy,
get
we're giving her
everyone
the
killed.
knife.
You know that, right? But of course you do. You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
I know, I'm feeling pretty neat.
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and the chains fall from the princess's wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky a woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now. Luckily for us, you're not her. Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that. Whatever you say next, you better make it count. She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
See, look,
What do you
cat.
think happens now?
I give you head pats, because you are a cat. To quote Patrick, I love you.
She pulls back, clearly caught off guard by whatever nonsense you just said to her. I thought it
A
was
little
nice.
blush.
Whether it's nice depends on if we meant it. We didn't. If you were lying, we'd all know. But unfortunately, you weren't lying.
What? What do you mean by that? What kind of game are you playing?
I'm playing Slay the Princess. What are you playing?
The look of surprise that momentarily softened her features vanishes as she steals her nerves. And then she buries the blade.
I
in your
deserve
heart.
that.
What? No. No, come on, that's not right. I told you. I told you this is what she was going to do. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it! I got you! You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
As Patrick once said, I love you.
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The thorn.
You're on a path in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us. I told you not to give her the blade. I told you it would come around to bite us. I voted yeah, we know. You already got your I told you so's in while we were bleeding out.
Where's the leak, ma'am? I don't know. I'd say it's probably where she pulled that knife out after she stabbed us.
Make sure that everyone here knows that I was and am on the right side of that argument. Oh, you're far from being on the right side of anything. You're fixated on the past, whereas what you should be is fixated on the future. Ho-ho, a visionary. I like it. Tell me more.
Tell me more,
Gladly,
tell
my
me
dear
more.
fellow, by cruelly turning on the princess in her moment of vulnerability, we made ourselves an enemy. But by mastering our fear and insecurity and handing over our power, we've begun a journey to something so much deeper. I like journeys. Traveling is a bit of a passion of mine. Well, if we're lucky, it's a journey to love.
I love you,
hates us.
Smitten. Just immediately, she hates us.
She hesitated before stabbing us to death. As ridiculous as this guy is, maybe he has a point. I don't know if I necessarily buy into his whole love journey thing, but maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change, so maybe she'll realise that things don't have to end in violence. You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try.
Heck yeah.
Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right? It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadows or bear our intentions with open hearts. We are breaking your cruel cycle and whisking her away to freedom. Oh, are you now?
Heck yeah.
Great. So you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once. Twice, actually. Sure. Twice. Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't muck this up. It's bad enough that this isn't your first time through. Wonderful.
It's different, it keeps changing.
If the woods themselves are changing, then that's all the more reason for you to take this seriously. It would mean your grip on things is slipping, which, in turn, likely means her influence is spreading. Someone's in the know. I've already said too much. The more information you have, the more difficult your task will be. Don't listen to her, definitely don't free her, and if you can, don't even think about her. You don't have to worry about me. My head's always empty. Except
Same.
for thoughts of her.
My head. There are no thoughts. Hope you don't think I'm planning on freeing her after she stabbed me in the heart. What happens if we just leave? You know what? Let's go to the cabin.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point. I don't know if I'd say everyone. You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one, too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters.
Bonky Weedy.
The princess is a threat.
You're not
to you.
empty-headed.
She's a threat to me, and most importantly, she's a threat to the world.
I mean, I
You know
can.
what you have to do. The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned-out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old.
I love this. Because once again, we have the rare use of color. And of course, we have roses and thorns. Wait, are those roses? Those aren't roses. They aren't traditional roses. They look more like poppies. I should be able... I don't know what type of flower they are.
The crisp shell of what was once a table. A pristine... Wait, this isn't right. This is supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it. Well, it's not here. And if she... Let me guess. You want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work. If she does have it, that's all the more reason to put our faith in her. We've already shown her our heart. Now she has to show us hers. Unless her heart tells her to stab us, which doesn't seem unlikely, so yes, I agree. Let's make sure we get on her good...
Or even get down to the only thing I see
Why
is a
didn't you
mirror.
mention the mirror? I didn't mention a mirror because there isn't a mirror. But
There's
he
clearly
says
a
there
mirror.
isn't one. That's got to count for something, right? Either way, I say we take a look. It feels like it's been forever since we've actually seen ourselves. For all we know, our feathers are all out of place.
I like to imagine
That's why we haven't yet won her heart.
that the
We
smitten
must put our best face
struts
forward.
everywhere. Like, he does not
we can't go
walk
around looking
normally.
disheveled. A real go-getter takes
He
care
struts.
of his appearance.
Like, he's trying... Like, he's a runway model. Everywhere. Even though it's... We're going to meet someone who just stabbed us after we stabbed them in a weird time loop in the middle of the woods. He's strutting like it's the runway. He knows exactly what he wants. And by God, he's gonna do a great job.
So, is the door to the basement behind the mirror? I promise you there isn't a mirror, and there isn't a door to the basement. The entrance is more of a burned-out frame than anything else, and it's right there on the far side of the room. Do you really not see it?
No?
You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent. You know what you have to do. Wipe away the grit from the mirror, and behold our handsome features. You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow
there's
entrance
nothing.
leading to the basement. You really thought there was a mirror there, didn't you? That can't be good. As if things weren't unpredictable enough. Alas, our fine features remain unseen. We'll just have to trust that she'll find us beautiful as we are.
Heck yeah.
Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it? Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us.
Gotta move to the right.
You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease. At least these thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's calling out for help. Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back. You let me kill you, and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
Want to free you, I mean it.
I
You're
think
on the way
you
out
know
of here
how
for
this
good.
goes. I'm down here, and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Ah. It's my computer
Did
background.
you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
You know, I'm here for you if you'll let me.
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
You're not the only one who wants freedom. I was strapped. You are. I think we need to
The
live
princess
together.
clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
Is there nothing I can say to change your mind?
I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. We don't need words to send a message. It is through action that we can show her our adoration, our devotion, our kindness.
Then maybe it's time for past time for either of us to say anything. Counts as action.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms. She trusts us. She trusts us. Doesn't that set your heart aflutter? Yeah, a little. It could just be nerves. Being this close to her does bring back unpleasant memories, but I don't know, it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. Like we're special to her.
I love
We
this
are
design
special
so
to
much.
have gained an ounce of trust from a maiden so guarded. Now all that remains is to free her from her bindings.
Like, you can tell, like, the way the thorns kind of become the dress, and the thorns
Yeah,
become tiaras,
Let's do
just
it.
excellent.
Let's show her how much both of us have changed. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance. That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him. I see that the lines have been drawn. It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
Yes.
We cut her free.
What a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her? You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision.
I mean, we can.
I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess. Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Let him join us and be merry. We are all united by our passion. That's right. What he said. We've already given him a chance at redemption. And who says I don't deserve another? I really mean it this time. I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong. And I have no problem with that. Welcome to the team. You're one of us now. You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you?
I just noticed, like,
take is a single, such a pathetic
the vines
attempt at
bleed
distraction
too.
and subterfuge.
That's
Our
a cool
blade
detail.
is a dashing sword, and every dashing sword is an extension of its hero. It won't slip. You're right. He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
Oh, it's going to get worse,
You
dear narrator.
actually meant it. You rescued me.
Do you see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now before the moment ends.
Know what time it is?
Can we actually do that?
Yes, we can.
Absolutely not.
Yes, we
You
can.
know as well as I do.
We can and we
that
will.
We can. And we wouldn't want to throw away a chance for a special moment, now would we? If I were only capable of throwing myself off a bridge. Well, are you going to describe our steamy, romantic kiss? You lean in and you kiss her. And she reciprocates enthusiastically. You kiss. It's done. Are you happy now? Come on now, this is the big moment. You can do better than that. Ugh, fine. You and the
I love
princess
this part
lock
so
eyes and
much.
stare deep into each other's souls with all the roaring emotion that comes from letting what once was hatred turn into pure, unbridled passion. Are you making fun of us? And then each of you close your eyes and kiss. Words can describe neither the nuclear fire nor the oceanic depth of your connection. Please. I think he actually likes romance. If history itself were not about to end, historians would document this moment for the rest of time. Musicians would write era-defining ballads, and great artists would expend entire lifetimes trying to merely capture the spark you hold right now. He's making fun of us. It doesn't matter either way, because this is good stuff.
I agree, it's a bit
skills. But unfortunately for you, the moment doesn't last forever. You open your eyes, the princess smiles gently up at you. Time for you to damn the whole world to oblivion, I suppose.
That was nice.
Her hand slips into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out. Please, after all the trials we've been through, do you really think a few measly thorns can stop us? Love is an even more powerful weapon than our blade. We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting... I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way.
We can
What a
wash them
pathetic
away with
showing,
magic.
Really?
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
Let's step into the thorns for that magical moment.
As you step into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this? Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world would condemn star-crossed lovers like us to a cycle of violence and despair isn't a world worth saving. We'll weave something new together. Something better.
I like that
You and the
sentiment.
princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
I agree. The smitten is the best. We step into our
Hands
freedom.
clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into
And
a
no.
new day. You irredeemable murderers.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we back. You irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
And gone. Just like that. Time to leave.
She's
Memory
gone.
returns.
And there's that mirror again.
Going to
If
be
it's so
okay.
bad, yes. I fear that we won't. If they think it's bad, I'm with. Oh, I
Approach the
don't
mirror.
like that.
Distance as you approach. You're gone again. The mirror always makes a leap, but you need to see what's in it. You've withered. Gone quiet once again. You are at the cabin.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
I love this writing. Wait, she's still a cat. Look at her nose. Look. Look. Look right there. She's still a cat. Something, the cat girls are real.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that I am everything that you have known me to be. But I am also none of it.
My poor
We will
vessels.
know when we... As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
As one must always serve the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't
It
that make you
changes me,
worse?
but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
And it makes me like more. I don't know what this says about me. Distance, I have no opinion. Just want it all to
It
stop.
will, in time. But you still have a ways to go before we are done. Know that I hold no malice for you.
What do you think of this
This
vessel?
one yearns for connection she feels she doesn't deserve. Even when shown compassion, she hid herself away. She will make for a cautious heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
What happens to
My
worlds we leave
perspectives
behind?
are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and tells me new secrets.
So you don't have any preference how you'd like to change
The
or grow.
tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me. The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
I'm ready to
I
go
will
back.
be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark. And you die.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin, you're here.
Wah. Silently continue.
You make your way up the short path. We're not going to ignore.
Let's go inside. I think I've...
The blade. You take
Take that knife. Enter that basement.
the door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase. Her voice.
Who's there?
She said, "Don't let it."
Hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
I haven't decided
How about
yet.
you drop the knife, and the two of us...
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Wait, this isn't how relationships are supposed to start? They don't just brandish a knife at you? Are you coming on
Don't
to
jump
me?
to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
How long have you been down
Too
here?
long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her. You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere. Well, we can always put that...
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what She is. I'm sure of it. She hesitates before...
You can address me as...
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Perfect. You know why I'm here to kill
Do
you.
you?
I know what I've been told, whether or not I believe it's entirely different
So,
matter.
you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Okay, we talked
Oh.
enough.
Have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Kind of want to. There are a couple which I kind of want to show. You know what? This is one of my favorites.
Have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure...
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to...
Maybe there's
I'll
something
be
I can
here.
find.
You attempt to make your way
Like
out.
a large
Someone
rock.
else here.
Hey, they
You
locked
make
the
your
door.
way
I'm
back
not
to
even
the
gonna
bottom
try
of
it.
the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for who? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Let's save her.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade you cut into her. The blade is sharp and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you.
She's not.
Now let's get out of here.
No, We won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No. As the princess approaches the bot... Wait, this is watch me.
But we can't slay her. It has been blocked
Stop
out.
that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward. Stop it. Stop.
What?
The blade. Move
the
You're doing your
blade.
best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
And you die.
I hope it was worth it.
We got another one. The prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay,
Don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
You did, but I don't believe you. Let's go.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Don't believe a word she
Don't believe a word she says. Yes. Did you just say wink out loud?
I love that.
Didn't. Wink.
Wink.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Perfect.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a danger. Are you sure? What if she, I don't know, turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner. Yes, I'm sure. Turns it against you? She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world. Okay, I'm trusting you.
You don't like get a say here?
Yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go. Wonderful. You do exactly that, sweeping the knife from the table before proceeding. Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on.
Down we go.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. the chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier.
I don't know about that. Have you ever seen Ghost Rider? Ever read one of those comics? You can do a lot with chains.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
There was another person there. She ate him.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
Oh, I just noticed the tiara is also chains now. Like chain links.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sit where you're
You do
told.
as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Intentions? What do you mean?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck? Or does she think she'd survive a beheading? You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her, unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
Been here before, one remembers.
Are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah,
First you make a comment about having been here before, and now this. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. It's complicated things. How, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
He gets it. You're lucky. So don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that. I won't. Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter. Yeah, sure. We'll see about that. Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
What happened after I died
Nothing
last
happened.
time?
You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she... It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I
What
guess
if
it's
you have a
possible
knife?
she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this...
Let me borrow that knife. Don't worry, you'll get it back.
But she seems confident. Oh, please, she's just putting on an act to disarm.
Though if she isn't bluffing,
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling.
Then let me help you. That doesn't sound great. There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has
We
planned
can
could do
trust
something to mess with what he has
nobody.
planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
Chain on the wall.
I don't
Who's it
know,
for?
but you could always try it on.
Let's
Maybe
do
it'll
that.
fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Let's do it.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And
We're doing
why
it.
Is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
Dun 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 dun.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Let's inspect it.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Heck yeah, skeptic.
As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can
Oops.
so much as blink, it practically leaps from your
Accidentally
hands,
changed to the wall.
snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
I'd say so, probably.
Yes.
Alright,
Huh?
that.
So it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly
So we're stuck here.
Yep.
What should
Wait,
we do?
I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
Did you know this was gonna happen?
No.
Not one for small
Nope.
talk, are you?
That's rude. You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we...
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
It just
But the line
works.
of
It
questioning
just
is
works.
interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even
Have you
more
heard
time
that
passes
song?
again. And let me guess.
I'll put it in the
cabin
Discord later.
remains the same.
If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
We know space
I
is
don't
changing.
like small talk. Remember?
Man, we are being here until the walls are literally eroding around us.
Still
You can at least
rude.
try. Yeah, exactly, Hero. You can at least try.
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happens to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly, there are no walls. And
I think
he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
And it's all gone. Yet again. Respond. When will you ever? It's time to leave.
She's
Memory
gone.
returns.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that
Probably not.
a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Going to be okay.
It feels so bad.
You're right. Part of me wants to...
See you on the other side.
Feels too good to be true.
Approach the mirror. They're gone again. The mirror always makes a leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. You find yourself in the long quiet ones. You go to the cabin. You're at the cabin.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there.
There's a world beyond. She just read this. I don't need to read this.
We'll find out there?
Rhetorical question. Do you know? Do you want to tell me?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me. Short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
There's trees and stars, and I think there are people. At
There
least
is
there
a
are supposed to
warmth
be.
and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Do you think that anything is real out there? Do you think we're
We
real?
are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Do you have any thoughts on this
is
one?
Cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
What's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
Be sent back there. I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator. He wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Do the vessels have one?
Their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does, and I don't know what I'm going to do when
There's
I find
no
him.
need for you to know what you are going to do before you do it. If you find him, remember that I'll be waiting for you on the other side.
How many more vessels do you need?
Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
Last time, is there anything you would like me to bring
These
you?
gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
Completion, I'm not going back. I'm just gonna stay
You've
here.
already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you.
There's no waiting forever. Destroy yourself. Raise your will to end your life, but as Paris anticipates how it should be, you feel nothing at all. One of the many hands in front of you reaches forward and gently plucks the instrument from your hand.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
What if we attack them? The industry in front of you, but nothing happens.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
I'm ready
The next
to go
time I
back.
see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark. And you die. Chapter 1. Kira and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to...
Oh,
the
one up
spirit.
monarch, viva la revolution! That's the spirit.
You make your way up the shore. We're not going to ignore.
And there's one specific one that I've been wanting to show this whole time.
The interior blade.
Just because of one line.
The door to the base. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sound. Don't let it. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs. She's so. Focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you.
Oh? No talking then? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
We go in and you
lunge
just
forward
stab.
without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it?
Yes,
I'm
it
almost
is.
Embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over?
Really over? I feel like she has some kind of trick up her sleeves.
It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there. We should
What
make
if she
sure.
has a knife?
What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
Okay, but what if there was?
You lean down and place your hand against her neck, holding your breath as you search for a pulse, even though you know you're not going to find one. We definitely won't if you keep talking. I'm sorry, do you want her to be alive? You just saved the entire world from annihilation. Why are you suddenly trying to call that into question? Wait, what was that? You know what that was. That was the sound of a heartbeat.
She does have a knife.
followed by
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
something sharp digs into your side, the shock of
Shame.
it sending your nerves into a pained frenzy. Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you, for whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The razor.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a... You're here to
Again? Don't kill me again.
People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
Favorite one is the one with... What just happened? One with all the voices at once. That is a good one. That is a very good one. If I stream this again, I'll show that one off for certain.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing is a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
I had a point I was gonna make. And then...
Stab?
I love that line.
And you won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. You said this whole thing would be easy, but after we sank our blade into her heart, she just got up and started stabbing us.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear.
She did is glorious too.
You were made... A warning. She will lie.
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost.
We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
Unless you're talking about the stranger. That one's also really... I like that one a lot too.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We're gonna take
the
that
blade
knife
from the table.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands.
I mean, this one also has
Let's
all the
make her
voices
earn
at
for what
once.
she's done to us.
If I do it right. Entered that basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
That's right, scraping. I told you she has something, I told you.
Oh, the many faces one. I believe that's Stranger. And Stranger is excellent. You should try getting her first. And then... There's no way I can say this without giving spoilers. If you don't want spoilers for this game, cover your ears or something. Look away for about... You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? Okay, one moment. I have an idea. There we go. Perfect. Okay. If you do the stranger first, and you go to the basement during the final portion, it's a different tag. It's a different. And I think that's pretty cool. Okay, it's safe now. I'm just gonna put that up for a couple seconds. And a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Discard. There we go.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head.
It's cool. Yeah.
Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess
She's
comes
not hiding
into view,
anything at
her
all.
sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
It's beautiful. If I come closer, you're just gonna stab me, aren't you?
What? No, I wouldn't stab you. I am just a sweet, innocent princess trapped here for no reason. And you are a brave knight who's supposed to walk up to, not stabbing distance to help me.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
This version is the worst
She
liar.
certainly feels... Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it. But you know who is armed? You. So stop second-guessing yourself and do your job. But I'm nervous. All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
You have a knife? I'll let you out if you drop it.
Knife? What are you talking about? I don't have a knife. Where would I keep a knife? And why would I stab you to death? I don't know you. You haven't given me a reason to stab you to death. It would be so silly of me to cut you open and look at your insides.
Okay, I could have sworn we didn't mention stabbing anyone to death. Sounds like she's really out for blood. Fortunately for you, she isn't armed.
Good, then prove you don't have a knife.
It would be so much easier to prove that I do have a sharp object. I could just show it to you. But I don't have one, so I can't.
The princess smiles as she pulls her hands from behind her back.
But look at this! Hands! Hands that don't have anything in them to stab you with!
Her smile stretches into an even white...
And empty sleeves, too! Look at how few stabbing implements I have. It's practically zero.
I love how that it's... What if you're just hiding it somewhere secret?
My hiding spots. What kind of princess do you think I am? I would never hide something sharp somewhere secret. Wait, that sounds like I'm lying, but I'm actually not. My secret zones are for me, only they have nothing to do with you or my intention to not stab you to death the second you get close to me.
Her smile drops for a moment.
I assure you, there's nothing hidden there.
I'm inclined to believe her on...
Of course, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have something hidden somewhere.
Just but you're being so suspicious.
So rude of you, passing judgments on strangers you've never met just because they're different from you. How would you like it if I did that, huh? Silly little bird-face thinks he's so serious coming down here but doesn't know anything. Thinks he can tell me to get rid of all the knives I don't even have while he gets to wave one around right in front
Hi,
of
Callie.
me.
Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing? How was Belatro? Welcome to a dramatic switch in tone.
Of checking opponent's connection. Oh my god, did I just make them fucking rage DC? Did I just get my... I swear to god, if they receive from this... Clip that shit, that's
we are going to be not stabbed. Good, got a bunch of stuff completing challenges. I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. You're really good at Belatro, and you are doing a good job.
I bet you didn't like that, did you? I bet you didn't like being judged for no reason.
But, welcome into a lower energy... It's a bit of a lower energy one today. I'm over 50... You're over half completed. That's impressive. It's very impressive. Everyone put out the cheers for Kelly in the chat. Put out whatever cheer emotes you have. Spam them as much as you want.
How many more times does she have to vaguely threaten you before you finally decide you're ready to deal with her?
I mean, these... Yes. Pat, 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 pat. Claps and whistles. Exactly. Exactly. Away we go. What other cheer emotes do I have? There are some in here. Give me one moment. I don't think that's a cheer. But you know what? It looks close enough. Run to the restroom, be right back. Take your time.
We're clearly still figuring out our angle. We don't have the luxury of watching this from a distance. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think I'm in a position of luxury right now?
Yes.
You're acting like you are. My entire world is at risk.
You can keep telling us to just run up and stab this one who's clearly armed.
A little more humility. A bit of self-deprecation would go a long way. No, I have my dignity.
Hello, Kappa. Thank you for the follow. How are you doing? Welcome. Welcome to We Are Not Going to Be Stabbed. Totally not. Not at all.
Fine, and we'll continue to treat you exactly how you deserve to be treated.
Forgive me if I'm a bit on the quiet side. It's low energy day today. Might I pick like the oldest clip? Why not? Because sometimes it'll just reach into the back of the Twitch catalog and remove some old forgotten memory from some ancient time which you don't even remember anymore. I think we just need to let bygones be bygones.
But I'm not mad at you, so please stop standing so far out of reach.
I think I've said my piece at this point. I think we all have. But if you want to keep exhausting your questions, it beats getting stabbed to death.
Fellow pupper is all I wanted. Fair. Yep. I'm technically a chinchilla, but I'm also not beating the allegations, so, yeah. Hello, Sly. Welcome in. So I was sent here to stop friending when you killed me last time and come back. Getting stabbed in the heart.
That doesn't sound like me.
Liza, I see you barking. I mean, chinchillas technically bark. I'm not beating the allegations.
Last time? What are you talking about? Ugh, it's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's obviously lying through her teeth.
Sure, yep.
I'm terrible at spotting lies, and
Yep.
even I can tell
Yep,
something's
yep,
up
yep,
here.
yep, 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 yep.
We can't be the only ones that
It's not
look
like
back to
there's
the
a
start.
redeem for
Someone
that
else
or
has to
anything.
remember,
Or
right? Yes, something is obviously up. And we can all tell that she's lying. The thing she's lying about is how
okay.
dangerous she is, not dimension hopping or time travel
Thank you.
or whatever
Thank
it
you,
is you
Jesus.
think you're doing.
Thank you. But this thing, yes, that. Exactly that. And he has to die.
Of course not. At least not now, because you're here to save me. But
Dies.
you'll have to come
Yep.
close. Okay, I'm bored now.
She's bored?
Friendly reminder that this is a horror game. If any of you are not in the mood for that, now's the time to go. In a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
That's absurd. She doesn't get to be bored. Not in a way that matters. She's a prisoner. She's... Shit. In a sudden burst of movement, the princess leaps towards you, a blade erupting from her free arm, her wrist
Orc
limp
is
and
adorable.
empty from the violent expulsion.
Glad you think so.
So how conciliatory of you. We appreciate it, really. Now what are we going to do? At least we're safe here. She's still in chains. And those chains stop her from continuing her advance. At least for a moment.
And then?
She looks down at them with something between annoyance and confusion. And then she slices through her arm. Okay, maybe we aren't safe here.
No, maybe we aren't safe.
She doesn't even hesitate before darting towards you with a terrifying speed you can't hope to outpace. Ah, shit. Okay, she's down an arm and we still have a weapon. I guess we'll have to use it. And use it you do. But unfortunately for you, and for the entire world, you are
You're
horribly
outmatched.
outmatched. You keep pace with her for a single brief and wordless exchange before she severs your hand and, with it, your only line of defense. She's
Punch her.
much better at this than she was last time. Yeah, it's unreal. Bloody cheater.
I
I'm
agree.
going to kill you now.
And with a squelch, she does just that. Everything goes
Everything
dark.
goes dark.
And you die.
And you die. Chapter 3. The Arms Race.
You're on a path in the woods.
Okay,
No,
it looks like
fuck
another
that. If
ad
we're
is going to
have
play any
keep doing
second
this
now.
Over and over and over again. We're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin.
Oh yes. Cheated with your gamer age. But I'm going to let the ads play and I'm going to be right back because this is a very story game. I don't want y'all to miss anything. Whack. Wait. I believe it's over. Question. Do you put anything on the carrots? Or do you just eat them straight? Or is it a mixture of both?
Your what? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do?
Kelly doesn't eat anything straight. True. A straight carrot muncher. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm weird. Sometimes I put peanut butter on my carrots. Music you didn't have to cut out when I said that. Have to try that. Okay. Thank you for not judging me. Wait, excuse me. Who was it who said it? She did really just hit fast forward.
I feel dizzy. Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now?
Peanut butter on veggies is pretty normal. Okay. So I just grew up in a place that was weirdly Puritan about vegetable dipping. Okay. Good to know.
The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight. What's the point of fighting if she's just going to win every time? It hurts being sliced to pieces. We're better off just sitting up here and doing nothing.
I also like peanut butter on my burgers. I have never tried peanut butter on
Great.
burgers.
So obviously you've already been here. How many times?
I put mayo on the bread once. I forgot to pick up mayonnaise when I went to the store. Tried that, really want to? Okay. Callie, I have an idea. What if we did a cooking stream? But neither of us are cooking together. But we're just cooking and we're both streaming. I haven't had peanut butter till I was 16. Had my first Reese's Cup and it was amazing. I intend to do cooking streams at some point. I look forward to them. Guess I know what I'm making when I cook for you. It sounds good.
This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realize that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction. That can't be right. That's too much responsibility.
I'm gonna be real with you all. There was like one way burgers were cooked when I was growing up. And if you deviated from that, you were weird. Which is why, whenever my parents were gone, when I could afford it, I would buy beef and I'd cook it in. I don't even think I was cooking it that weirdly. I was like, what if I put the hot sauce on it before I cook it? Ooh, but not like enough to actually like get it to soak into the meat. Just like sprinkle it on and then toss it into the pan. There's a reason why I ask y'all for recipes. I have no clue what I'm doing. Hello, sarcastic samurai. How are you doing? We're discussing things which I was taught to think were weird, but really aren't weird. Thank you for the hydrate.
We couldn't be trusted with the fate of a single person, let alone the fate of the world.
Doing good, glad to hear it. You can mix it with the meat. This is a new step. I'll have to try this sometime. How am I? I'm doing okay. Bit low energy, but doing okay.
Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched. We take it.
Cheated
Okay,
is.
sure, you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp.
We're gonna do us a murder. Yeah, me too. We're
That's
carrying
right,
me
we've
out
got
today.
to be able to win
That's fair.
eventually. And what if we never do? So, are you just going to stand there, or are you going to head to the basement like you're supposed to?
I do a hot sauce burger with pepper jack cheese with maple bacon. Questions. What is maple bacon? I am unfamiliar with this phrase.
I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right? There isn't a door, there's just that mirror.
Is that just bacon that was smoked with maple wood? I am... This is why I say my head is empty. Because I don't know what maple bacon is. Yum, that sounds good right now. It does. I want it.
There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore. I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it.
Bacon that is marinated with syrup. That sounds amazing. I will need to try that. Bacon with syrup. Yes. So you get a sweet in heat. That sounds great. That sounds amazing. I love that.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it.
It is very American, too. True, but it sounds good.
Let's just move it out of the way without looking. I don't want to see us. I'm sure we all look awful after dying twice. Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
And then we wipe the mirror clean. Thank you, Broken.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising. It was never there.
But
just an
yes.
illusion.
If you have any actual measurements,
just stay focused and you'll be fine.
For this, please let me know. Wish I still made it for my son. I can't make it when I miss him. I'm sorry, Lili. Hugs for you. It's gonna be okay.
You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
Okay. Just kind of eyeball
Your
it.
body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
That's why I plan to show. That's fair.
Hi. It looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore.
I will do my best to learn.
But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
Fun for her, maybe. I didn't like dying all over again. Thinking about dying makes us as good as dead. The only thing that actually does survival matter. We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once. Nothing bad has come of it yet. Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there matter.
But yes. I don't know, I may start putting whatever cooking adventures I find myself in my Discord.
The past,
but we'll
isn't
see.
Real. There's only here and now. Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat.
From the princess's arms erupt twin blades glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor. She's loose, and she is coming for you.
Oh god, she has a knife.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Sous Chef Reno. Sounds amazing.
Shit. She's coming for us and I'm out of ideas.
Can we have fighting her, we're gonna appeal to authority, that's easy.
Now,
Let's try
I've
flirting.
tolerated quite a bit from you, but this is a bridge too far. Yeah, do we have to flirt with the murderous monster?
Yes.
Not.
It's not like she wants us anyway.
I'm fine with it. Let's see where this goes.
Give her the look.
The look. We've all used it. Yeah, do you not know about the look?
Even I know about the look.
Flash the princess the look. And a rosy blush rushes to the princess's cheeks as she breaks into a wide grin. Unbelievable.
See, the look works every time.
Oh, is that how it is? Yeah, okay, I feel that. I like you too. Neat.
Oh, be damned, this is actually going to work, isn't it?
Still going to kill you. But now we can both enjoy a mutual romantic subtext to the murder.
Or not.
At least
Fair
she
enough.
likes us. I've never been liked before.
Yo!
Blush still glowing in her cheeks. The princess closes the distance between you, blades flashing. She skewers you.
Love murder with romantic subtext. Heck yeah.
What worthwhile romance doesn't hurt at least a little bit? What matters?
Welcome back,
is that
Smitten.
She likes us. She's even said as much. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die? You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
I think we're dead. And that's all we'll ever be. Dead, 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 dead.
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead.
But what if we are?
This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here? This is 4. No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
We're supposed to just stab her and be done with it.
Next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess... Okay, whatever we do gets us another... us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her.
Cheated.
As long as we keep moving.
Cheated. I don't think that's
We'll
how
win
this
her
works.
heart eventually.
Oh, great. So it's going to get even more crowded. Even more deluded voices that think we might stand any kind of chance.
You aren't helping, Broken.
Come on, show me something new.
What if... Okay, hear me out. What if we let her stab us, but we just don't react? Work kills you again, and again, and again. When blurs as your consciousness leaps from life to life to life. Only snip as that transpires.
She's going to kill this body either way. So stop feeling what it feels. She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps. We just have to hit her harder. She skewers you.
You'll have to be trickier than that.
Then you skewer yourself.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Oh, she's still
That doesn't do
evolving.
much of anything. We're tougher than I thought. Just panic. Flee. She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
Friendly reminder, this all has romantic
It
subtext.
doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up. Okay, let's go again. Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you. See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah. That was
Someone
a
can
good
kill me with romantic subtext.
one. None of this is
Just wait.
working.
She's
Think.
not perfect yet.
Think. She skewers you. We're getting close to something. Can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time. That's all we need.
And then
Wait
everything
for it.
goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 4. Mutually Assured Destruction.
Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll take it from here. Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different.
I mean,
and different is good.
honestly,
Our steel claw is already in our hand.
Callie, you're giving me confusing feelings about being murdered with romantic subtext.
Ho-ho! What if we throw it out the window? Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. I can't say I mind anymore.
No. It'd be hot. I mean, it depends on how explicit the romantic subtext is.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman?
You have
Sure,
a point,
I can
Smitten.
think of a better way to die. They're all the same, really. How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want to
Fair enough.
accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them?
That...
Yeah,
Interesting.
leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time. Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover. Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only... Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along.
I accidentally skipped something.
Are you sure you don't want me to describe the
Most likely no.
stairs? Or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this.
We already know,
Just
narrator.
want to win.
This man...
Make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
They have reached the point. Good one. Gotta get off PC. That's fair. Have a good time. These people... They have reached the point where they no longer care about the intro cutscene. They no longer care about it. At all. And have a great time, Lili. They no longer care about it. They are just skipping the cutscene to this FromSoft boss. And they are going right for it.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that.
Her dress has gotten more spiky.
I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it? I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Hi, Abby. Welcome. Well, welcome in. Fair warning, because it's gonna get quite violent in a moment. How are you? Hope you're doing good.
Are you gonna say what she does?
See ya, Lilac. But how are you doing? How was Dead by Day look like?
Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Dead by Day was good. Hope your stream is going well. It is. I'm a bit low energy, but all's going well.
Here we go. Now.
See? She's gonna be perfect in just a moment.
Princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts.
Thank you for the pats. Okay, her perfect form will be delayed by 1 moment.
sends a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Thank you, Kelly, for the pat. And not just blood, but viscera too.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit!
She's gorgeous. Absolutely divine. Yes. Behold, the perfect woman.
This line is what I was referencing. This is the whole reason why I did this route on stream. I love this line. It's golden.
Do you think we can throw her out the window?
I mean, she does have a lot of things to impale you on.
That looked painful. How is she still alive?
Go for a bit. But I shall be lurking. Fair enough. I hope you have a good time.
Still beating, that's all she needs. This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it?
This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
This
Alright,
is all
What just happened? It's so quiet.
You be gone.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
Do not act, and yet through that inaction, your body moves on its own. Strikes you approach, but as her blow finishes its arc, you're already somewhere else.
You're incredible.
Your arms clash again and again, and you hear her entering a rhythm of free thought and free itself. Only the dance, the ebb and flow, the shifting of the tides back and forth between you. Falling to your play, the faster your hearts pound, and the faster momentum always between you. Endlessly building crescendo, and then an opening. Strikes free of volition, and hers strikes too. Both strikes lethal. Neither you will survive, but now that you fear what's to come, this is a good ending. And she's gone. If any of you want to hop off and play this yourself after seeing that, now is the time, because we're right at the end. The guy no will ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. You do so. Nah. I'm gonna sit and watch. Sounds good. Gaze into your reflection. Time for you to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. Sense right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze. See a figure faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond your reflection. You me? Accidentally double-clicked. Think you know what I am? The crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image into the glass in two. That form and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards, broken glass. Ah! Thank you for following, Empress Dragon. How are you doing? Are you something
I'm
like
nothing
me?
like you. I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
How are you doing today? I'm wondering if I'd ever get to see you.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
I'm good. A bit low energy, but I'm good. I'm glad you're good. We're right at the end of this game, so... Yee! Glad you're doing well. fancy something like a PCB
I'm
breaks.
aware. And if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
Like a PNG, thank you. Marshy made it for me. Let me shout her out real quick. Because she is a bean. But she has been having a rough time so far. As of late. I think her comms are open, though. And yes, she does great work. Excellent, lovely work. Yes, Marshy is cute. She is a cute and precious being. Pardon me, or are you something else?
I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it?
She is cute and does cute
From
art.
one vantage point, I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then what is?
You've said that before, so it really was meeting different
You were,
views.
and it was by both necessity and design.
She does excellent work.
This construct you're in exists in many places at once.
She also did some of my
Anytime you
emotes.
failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world.
She did these for me too. Arf! Hi, Nero. How are you? Welcome to close to the end of Slay the Princess. I hope you are doing good.
But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
I wasn't supposed to see all this.
You were either going
was
to
I?
have seen all this, or you weren't going to have seen all this. This is worse, but you still have an opportunity to save the world. You can still slay her. Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
About looping so many times, you denied it as being possibility. Why would you lie to me?
Perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial.
Nero, did you just come in here, make me bark, and leave?
I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first
Valid.
version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right. Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final choice. So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her, but I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her, and rid the world of death and suffering.
Hi, Belle. Hi, Belle. Welcome to Spoilers. How are you?
Yeah, it spawned me right where we saved.
Yay, it's Spoilers. I'm great. I'm glad to hear it. How was Stellar Blade? I haven't ever heard of that.
Okay, let me just check my inventory.
Great, I just beat it? Nice. What's it about? What are you doing it? How do you sell them blades? Anything to say for yourself for all of your hubris?
I do. People out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
going to do yet. I still have to see what she thinks about all this.
I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away.
Crunch. On a fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself connecting with Claire. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god. And it's finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. And the old post-apocalyptic inn where he fights the battle and learn the mystery of what's happened. That sounds cool. Sounds very cool. Right at the heart of things, there's no final vessel for you to bear witness to. Nothing for you to find. Or is there? Also, you're a very good-looking lady. Barrett? Thank you.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long.
You too.
And my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
I miss you too. She unfurls an endless cascade of smiles in response. Patiently waits for you to continue. About the echo, did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
I belong quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens
Ever
now?
the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Don't you have a say in all this? So why is this falling on me?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
Let's talk this through. I have so many questions I need answered before I make a
My
choice.
very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it.
I really like this part. It's cool.
On and on it goes until your bodies are not your bodies are not you. Alive, dead, then alive, dead, all at once. You learn to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. I pushed you to a greatness you never would have reached without me.
journey was agony, the end gave this struggle meaning.
And even then, what we saw was not an ending. When I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb. To such clever things to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. By believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. Bound for eternity, we saw the need for impermanence, and it was through that need that you carved our freedom.
Like her voice. I do too.
Without impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite.
She does
Would you strip
an
magics
excellent
away
job.
and leave everyone to suffer in the dark?
I think she does some streaming. I will try to find it, and I will send it to you later. Guess I wouldn't leave everyone to suffer in the dark.
It would. Our purpose is to be and to experience, and their purpose is the same. To be permanent is to cease. To be paused is to be trapped. A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust.
Hello, Chainsaw Man. Welcome to the very end of this game.
When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both, but compassion is
Hope you're having a good
must
time.
be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
There's more endings. I know. I've completed this, so this is just the end of this run, I guess. Of course, I helped you. I didn't want us to hate each other.
Again, we are each other's liberation.
You are nothing. A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. A dog blind to its leash. But there is no light without the dark. When I proclaimed my godhood and offered you a place at my side, you gladly became the instrument of my new creation.
When is this betrayal? Not this time.
Only with both of us is there a future to look towards. It is hope.
Maybe another time, though. Miss One, that was you?
My threads, like yours, are unbroken. She is me as much as I was her. Your lever drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp?
I desire to hide, but through my baker is destroying views. I want to hide from it. And don't. There's no need. Oh. I mean, that was the first one we did. So it wouldn't be stopping her. No, let's screw it.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
For yourself. You fall into yourself. Body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation. Feel sensation in limbs, which you couldn't fathom. Everything here except for her is you. Feel your wings spanning the cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled, and bound in agonized tension to a finite plane. Glass construct pressing in on you, finding you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not
I
yield.
love you.
Take your hand. All at once, the unyielding tension breaks. You are free. She is with you.
Magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts, to simply describe absolute reality, something that it is. What happens now?
Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Into the infinite we go. Step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist. You're aware just as you have always been, just as you always will be. The conflict is in your nature too. You will never be alone. You will never know fear. You and she are finally home. And the credits roll. What? Thank you all for coming. I'm gonna see who else is on today. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for coming. Question of... There are a few people who I could raid. And I could use track or special pictures like a screenshot. Let me make sure this person isn't ending. Yes. I know who we raid. Sweetie, you're... See you later. See you later, too, Kappa. I will see you around as I can. Stream tomorrow. Up in the air. As I have... job interview. I don't know how I'm gonna be feeling after that. But... I love this game. I figured it would be good because since I'm low energy and a lot of it is read to you. But I'll see you either tomorrow or Wednesday or worst case Thursday. Oh god, I'm so behind on editing. But here's the raid message. If you have a sub, there it is. If you don't, I will see you all the next time I see you. Okie dokie. Bye-byes.